So before we continue with that, I kind of wanna wonder like, how do you make sure you're not getting complacent? Because at 15, you've already opened up for one of your favorite artists. You're getting some buzz.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that you're still focused in the right direction and not feeling satisfied with that?
Um, I don't know. I guess as like a kid trying to rap and hit like American hip hop being like your main thing.
Hmm.
That's what you listen to all the time. What you look forward to the most is breaking the American like market. So until you actually go there and make it there, you don't even feel like you've done anything. So I
Mm.
guess that kind of played a role. And also just like because I wasn't getting paid a lot, and I had to prove a point to my father that it was actually gonna work.
Yeah, talk a little bit more about that because I know I've read and heard in other places that your father wanted you to pursue medicine,
Yeah.
but that really wasn't what you were trying to do. So talk about that a little bit.
My father was obsessed, man, with like me studying medicine and becoming like a doctor because he's in the medicine field
Okay.
and he wanted me to follow in his footsteps. It was kind of hard for him to accept that, this is what I want to do like forever. Like this is the only thing I want to do. But when
What
it
was
came,
the thing that made him accept that?
when I started bringing money home,
Okay.
that's
Start
when he was
bringing that
like,
bag
okay,
back.
okay, you can do this on the weekends. From there, I always just kept going. And after high school, I remember I asked him to give me like 1 year to prove just like that I could make it. And when I did that, he was like, okay, cool.
All right. Was it easy to convince him to give you that year, or you had to work for that?
It wasn't, man, because I think that was the year when things like started going even slower
Even
for some
slower.
reason, yeah. Because when you're in high school, you don't really realize what you're doing. You just like school, rap. So you juggle the two, right? But when I'm out of high school, that was like the only thing I was doing, and it's not like I was getting paid every weekend. I get paid like once in every 4 months. So it
Mm.
felt like I wasn't really doing anything. But to him, though, I was meeting people on the side. My manager was taking me to meetings, taking me to clubs, showing me how it's done. Like I go to a couple studio sessions just to like drop a verse for other artists that I didn't even know at the time.
Mm.
So to my father, it felt like I was moving backwards, and he felt like he'd made a mistake by giving me that 1 year. But towards the ending of the year, I moved to Joburg, and that's when I think my first music video played on TV, and that's when he was like, okay,
All right.
at least it's working.
And for us Americans out there, Joburg is Johannesburg,
Yeah,
right?
Johannesburg, yeah.
Okay. So, and that's interesting to me because what it sounds like is that during that time you were like, preparing to run,
Yeah.
essentially, getting your legs strength up, meeting these networks, these
Yeah.
connections,
Yeah.
and like learning the process because you're still young at this time. How old are you?
I was like 17, 18.
17, 18, fresh out of high school still, you know what I mean? So your pops didn't necessarily get to see the groundwork that you were putting in. But then towards the end of the year, things
Started
started
showing.
clicking a little bit more. Okay, so when you were doing these shows, like every 4 months, was this we don't have to get into like a specific amount, but was the money enough to be able to really live on? Or was it just showing you like some sort of reward rather for your hard work?
I think it was more of a reward than anything because it was like $400, $500,
Okay,
1,000 max at the
max.
time. Yeah.
But even still, you know what I mean? That's accomplishment in itself. There's a lot of cats right now that can't get a stack for a show, you know what I
For a
mean?
kid to get that amount of money off of like a talent or like something that my pops regard as like a hobby,
Yeah.
it was something.
See, and that's another reason why I think this is an important interview too, because like you get to see that correlation. Because I feel like a lot of American kids go through the same thing with their
Yeah.
parents, or just like kids and their parents in general,
Yeah.
where like parents are kind of from a different generation, where
So they don't
you had a
understand
nine
the
to
game.
five, you worked, and like you supported the family doing that. They didn't really understand like there's different opportunities now. So I think it's dope that like people can kind of feel that in you, and like that other people from around the world going through the same thing.
Can actually do it.
So yeah, so your pops is obviously a big influence on your life,
Yeah.
in all aspects, I assume. So how difficult was it to go against the grain, knowing that he wanted you to pursue music, also knowing that parents can be from a different time and not really understand the culture about what's going on now?
Yeah. I think him realizing that I was really dedicated and committed to it. Like, I'd I'd hustle up money for equipment by myself, money to fix the computer every time it bugged out by myself, and I don't know how I did it, but I convinced all of his like his friends from work and church to actually let me do it. I don't know what they saw in me at the time. I really don't know, but they used to come up to him and be like, "Yo, he's special. He's doing something. Just like let him try it out."
Yeah, I imagine. And what was it like to finally get that cosign from your pops? You know what I mean? And say, you know what, you've been grinding, you've been working hard. Like I support what you're doing.
I only really got that like 2 years ago
2 years
or one
ago?
year ago, yeah.
Okay.
And I wasn't even living at home anymore.
You was already.
I was already out. I was like, because he saw that I managed to like make a living out of it. So he was like, okay, cool, go support yourself with that.
Yeah.
Until you can actually bring money back home and support us, go grind and see what you do.
That's what's up, because it sounds to me like your pops is like, you know, wants you to be independent and be able to like get it on your own for the most part, which is like important. How do you feel like those, you know, going through that and those skills are helping you now?
They made me become a better person, man. I got like thick skin. I'm level-headed. I'm focused, and that's all because of what he taught me.
Yeah. Yeah, you seem like mad calm and humble about your shit.
That's all from him, everything.
Yeah, that's for sure. And, you know, especially in the industry, it can be difficult to maneuver it. So yeah. I definitely see that like helping you.
I know he'd kill me if he caught me doing something that he doesn't condone, like drugs or whatever. So that also helps draw the line.
You know, and that's actually, I would say that's like a big issue in the hip hop community now, right? Where like a lot of the, well, first of all, you're seeing kids break out younger and younger and younger, right? 17, 18, 19 with hits, much like yourself, right? But your content is a lot different than, I would say, American teens or American young artists that are coming out now, where it's like a big kind of drug epidemic. There's been like, you know, many debates that kind of, because hip hop started as, you know, dealers, I would say, in terms of talking about the environment, where they're coming from, and like the ways they would support themselves outside the government because of the lack of help.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's more so about using the drugs and things like that. So does your father's influence play a role in your content, or is it more so that's just not really your lane?
I think my father teaching me about that and telling me not to do it helped, but most importantly, like me seeing some of my friends go down that lane and things not turning out well for them also kind of like set a spark in my mind. I was like, okay, that's not for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not fucking with it. So what I'm curious about is, did you ever feel pressure to like compromise that aspect because of the culture right now around it?
Nah, I wouldn't say so. Like if I tried anything, it was only because I really felt like trying it at the time. Mm. And that's where it ends. Like it's not because so-and-so said this in a song or so-and-so posted something doing this and that. It's never been like that for me.
And I feel like that's also a product of like you kind of having to do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
Party Next Door actually talks about that. I've like read interviews where he said, you know, I learned to produce, I learned to make my music, I learned to write everything by myself. So, you know, I'm influenced by people in some regards, but I'm really not. Like it's still coming from a very original place.
Yeah.
So I would guess you feel pretty similar to that.
Yeah, definitely. Like when you know how hard it was for you to even get where you are, like taking any sort of risk with like drugs or whatever, stuff that could tip you over like completely is a no.
And get you out your right mind.
You can't afford to do that.